What is going on, you guys? It is your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco. It is another Philly, the podcast. How is everybody doing? How are you guys doing? It's our daily chat. It's our daily chat. You know what I'm saying? So, quick before we start, I just want to thank everybody that does tune in, everybody that watches the videos. The channel just got over 150,000 views for the channel's lifespan. We've been doing this for about 7 months. So, thank you, everybody that is subscribed, that tunes in, like I said. It's a small, it's a small stepping stone to something, hopefully way greater. But yeah, thanks for always tuning in. But so let's get into what we're here to talk about, right? So people have been asking me, who do I think is going to benefit the most from the Eagles' new coaching staff? There's a lot of different ways I can go. There's a lot of different ways I can go with this. All right. If Carson Wentz was going to be here, I would have said probably Carson Wentz because, he needed some better coaching. But looks like he's not going to be here. But either way, I think Jalen Hurts can be on that list if he is going to be our quarterback. But, just to broaden it, any quarterback that plays under this team is going to, in my opinion, reap a benefit just because we have so many offensive coordinators and offensive minded people and a lot of people that worked with quarterbacks. So I feel like if it is Jalen, if it is Carson, if all this is just smoke, if it is Carson, if it's Jalen, whoever it may be at that quarterback position is going to definitely be greatly helped by the new coaching hires. I mean, like I've said for a while, we've lacked in the area of development, and it goes across the board, but quarterback was, I feel like, the most obvious issue when it comes to development. I feel like Carson Wentz mechanically regressed. He wasn't taught what he needed to be taught, whatever you want to call it, but we need somebody that's going to, teach these guys as far as our quarterback rooms goes. And I feel like that we have the coaches for that. So also, I want to talk about, now I was torn between the two, so I'm just going to say both. And it's going to go down to our running back room. Look, I feel like Boston Scott still is a good player. I feel like we misused him last year. Miles Sanders, I feel like, was grossly underused last year. I feel like we can all agree on that. But I feel like our running game in general is going to definitely benefit from this new offensive staff. We've seen what Sirianni likes to do with the Colts. It was definitely, based around the strengths of the team, but he was not afraid to be a run-first team, which is something that I think is beautiful and I think is going to be very helpful for our team. And like I said, it's not just Miles Sanders. I feel like Boston Scott will finally be used correctly again. We all saw what he can do when he is used in the correct role. I feel like he's a receiving back. That's what he is. He's not an in-between the tackles type guy. Get him on the edge, get him some space, get him in space, I should say, and you see him do good things. So I really feel like Boston Scott can have a bigger role in here. People saying Boston Scott needs to go. We need a bigger back. I agree that we do need a bigger back, but we need three backs. At the end of the day, I feel like we need three backs. I like Sanders. If we retain Howard, if we finally give Elijah Holyfield some game time, even Mike Warren. I think Mike Warren's still on the practice squad or now signed, whatever it may be. But I think Mike Warren's still attached to this team, so I wouldn't mind seeing him. Corey Clement, I believe, is a free agent. I feel like this might be the time to just let him go, move on. I see a lot of people saying Jordan Howard. I would keep Jordan Howard. If he's down to come back, I don't know what happened. I don't know why he just stopped getting used. And then when we got him back, he just wasn't really used. I feel like we put him in for that Green Bay game, hoping for the best. And I don't know. I'm not Doug. But so, the running backs too. I feel, and we go back to 2017 and we look at how we had a third-ranked running offense, right? And we look at the three running backs that we had that year. That's what we need. Again, we need something that's like a three-headed monster. Sanders is a great player, in my opinion, and I feel like Sanders can hold the load. He can, be that workhorse running back. But I still feel like I want to be a team that runs the ball 30 times a game, realistically. I don't think Miles Sanders can do that. I think if you get him around 17 to 21 carries, I think that's, a sweet spot. And then obviously you get him some catches, get him in the receiving game as well. And then you get these other guys, 5 to 10 carries, whatever it may be. I want to see us pound the rock, especially if we're going to have a a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, who's young, who's going to have to learn, who's going to have his roadblocks. He's going to have his bumps in the road. I want to see us focus on the run game. And the best way you do that is by having a stable of runners. I feel like that's what we can do. Who else do I think can benefit from here? I think Jalen Reagor. If we're gonna nail it down to one wide receiver, I think Jalen Reagor is probably I don't want to say a lock, but he's probably in the position to benefit the most, just because we look at what Nick Sirianni likes to do. He likes to do a lot of play action, which gives him the option to go deep with someone like Reagor. But he also likes to do a lot of screens, a lot of end arounds, a lot of quick twitch passing, something that we got beat a lot on defensively. So maybe that'll help us defensively. We'll practice against it a lot more. But I feel like Jalen Reagor will finally be used the way that they wanted him to be used, hopefully on punt returns. Last year, he fumbled the first punt return, and I feel like they just lost all faith in him. People are going to mess up. I'm sorry, y'all. People are going to mess up. People are going to make mistakes. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, you have to let these guys go through their learning curve. I think Jalen Reagor is going to, I don't want to say break out. I don't want to say he's going to have an amazing year, but I feel like he's going to really he's going to show what he has. He's going to show us what he is. Whether that be a number one or whether that be a number two, whether that be a punt returner. We will find out this year, barring any injury. Obviously, I hope he stays healthy. Also, now that brings me into the last point I want to make, and then I'll get into all your comments and we'll talk like we do. You know how we do. The last thing I think will benefit, and I say thing because I don't think I can just put this on a player or a person, but I think the injuries might slow down this year. I'm not saying that it's Doug Peterson's fault. I'm not saying it's this coaching staff's fault. It was just very coincidental that, once Doug Peterson got here, we couldn't stay healthy for anything. Like I said, I'm not blaming it on them. You know what I'm saying? But, man, I don't know. It was very coincidental. So I feel like maybe it was practice. Maybe it was, the way that the training staff was, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Physical. I don't know what it was, but it can't be luck. I don't really believe in luck. So it has to be something that was, either on the field, off the field, in the training room. Something wasn't being done right. So hopefully with this new staff, we can get that fixed. That's a big, big thing for me. I see someone said Big Play Slay. I agree on that as well. Big Play Slay needs to step it up. Oh, not Big Play Slay. Not you, bro. You my guy. You don't need to step it up. You're doing a good job, man. But yeah, I'll get into these comments and we'll talk a little bit, bro. We'll talk a little bit. Shout out to Kevin, was the first one in here. Shout out to you. I was in here 30 minutes before we even started this thing. Kevin Fu was up in here saying Surtain. Yeah, I just did a reaction video to Patrick Surtain. I mean, the kid's good. But he's handsy. That's the only thing I don't like about him. But shout out to Big Play Slay. Shout out to AK Eagles, Jimmy in the building. Pat's Nation commentary. I see you. Richard Ruth in the building. Says Reagor or Sanders. Yeah, I could see them having breakout years, man, or big years, I should say. Young Money in the building. They say several teams are calling the Eagles about Wentz, and they believe he will go for a first-round pick. Good. I'll take it. It's going to be interesting. I want to know who, and I want to know where. I mean, I guess we'll figure it out, right? We'll find out pretty soon because things seem to be moving pretty quickly, which I'm glad, because I said earlier, I did that, best and worst case scenario of the offseason, and I said they need to hit the ground running. They need to start making moves now. They need to, find out what all these people's value is now, try and get draft value this year. And they can't just, sit on their laurels or, I heard an old guy say that once. So I always wanted to say that. Go out and get a QB at 6, not tight end. I don't know, man. I don't know what we're going to do. It'll be very interesting. If we end up trading Carson and Jalen, then obviously you got to go out there and get yourself a quarterback, unless, Nate Sudfeld's the future. But, it'll be interesting. I think that it's going to be Jamar Chase. I'm almost done getting all the videos from from my boys, from my peoples, from all the other creators. So we'll be doing the video tomorrow either way for the Eagles pick. I think you'll be surprised about what a lot of people are picking. So definitely go vote on that community post so we can make sure that your vote counts. I feel like I'm sounding like a politician. Boston Scott needs to go. He's small. We need bigger backs. I mean, I don't think that him being small is necessarily a bad thing. You got to just use what he's good at. You got to use him for what he's good at. I like Sanders and Howard. I like Howard. I don't know what Howard happened. I mean, I don't know what happened to Howard, I should say. Jason Huntley. I feel you. Jason Huntley might not even make the roster, to be honest. But we'll see what happens. Sanders' job needs to be on the line because he always hurts just like Wentz. He's always hurt just like Wentz. Yeah, Miles Sanders definitely has been banged up this year. It's been a little bit rough for him, or these past couple years, I should say. It's been a lot. He doesn't have much tread on his tires coming out of Penn State, though. So I feel like that was the thought process that, he would probably be okay. But unfortunately, he's getting banged up early. What's up, Rome? How's it going, man? How are you doing? What's good, Ewing? Is that for Patrick Ewing? Are you a Knicks fan? Sanders got his limits. He can't carry the ball that much. Don't forget, he put the ball on the ground a lot. He did. He definitely did. That is something that I've never shied away from talking about Miles Sanders. I love Miles Sanders. He's one of my favorite, running backs coming out of Penn State, obviously right behind Saquon. So it was fun watching them go back and forth, or back to back, I should say, I guess. But either way, he's always had that issue. Even in college, he had that problem dropping the ball. So he's definitely got to work on that. But I'm glad that we have coaches that are about teaching. Now that's a big issue, though. Who is going to be our running back coach? Like I've said that we saw that Brian Westbrook said he's available. I would love to see Brian Westbrook. Other people were saying that Darren Sproles said he would be down for the job. I would love to see Darren Sproles. I would love to see somebody that comes in and just teaches technique, teaches someone how to hold the ball. We can remember when Tiki Barber was coming in the league, or at least I can remember. Maybe I'm dating myself. I can remember when Tiki Barber was playing. He had a really bad year fumbling the ball. He got a new coach. He held the ball a little bit differently, came back the next year, and I think he only had like 1 or 2 fumbles that year. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure you will. But, look, it's fixable. Fumbles are fixable. The health thing, that's a little bit different. Let's say Carson is here next year, which I'm assuming he is. But when it comes to situations where he's had a bad game, Doug would just keep indicating him to throw it, which honestly didn't help. Yeah, Doug definitely didn't help him. Falcon will benefit, I hope. Yeah, I think Fulgham will definitely benefit from this new staff as well. But I feel like he's a very, how do I say this? He's what an NFL wide receiver has always been, if that makes sense. Like, he's not anything different. Like, not saying that there's no other Jalen Reagor in the league. It's just that they're a little bit different. They're more of a gadget type guy. So I feel like Fulgham can fit into any system, really. What's good, Lindy? How's it going, man? How's it going? What's good, Dak Prescott in the building? Always. I respect it. Reagor should perform like a first-round pick, plain and simple. It is what it is. I mean, what is a first-round pick, though? We've seen a lot of first-round picks be terrible, to be honest. Unfortunately, most of the times it's with the Eagles, but we've seen a lot of first-round picks not do well. He was a late-round pick. If he's a number 2, if he's a solid number 2, let's say Travis Fulgham comes out here and balls out, or, we do pick Jamar Chase and he balls out and he's our number 1. If Jalen Reagor is a solid number 2, I'll forget it. I'll give it up. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if, I don't know, though. A lot of people feel, or I should say, a lot of people make me feel like if we get Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith or even a Jalen Waddle, that it would make up for Jalen Reagor. Do you guys, or a DK Metcalf passing on DK or passing on Justin Jefferson? How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all think that it would make up for that? Or I kind of feel like it's just a Band-Aid at this point. Like, we have to develop them. But I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad. Deshaun, keep that, my best play. Deshaun needs to go. Deshaun, I love you, man, but you need to go. Jalen Reagor got to get better with his footwork, and another reason he can't get open. I agree. I mean, yeah, he's definitely got to work on his craft. I feel like he's definitely got to get developed, and he's got to be on the field. He wasn't on the field much. Josh Sweat. I wanted to name him as well. I feel like Josh Sweat, he's coming on. He's definitely coming on. I think he'll definitely benefit if, I hate to say it, if we do move on from somebody like Barnett or even Brandon Graham. If we're moving on from one of those guys, he's definitely going to be, I feel like, next in line. And then Gannon, I feel like Gannon gets the best out of his players. I've heard a lot of good things about our new D-line coach. So, I definitely like Josh Sweat as a guy that improves. But we also need some help on the other side. We need everything. There's a lot of cornerbacks, though. I will say, the more that I look into it, there are a lot of cornerbacks. I'm not saying we'll get one in the third, but we might get lucky and mess around and get one in the second. I think in the first round, you either have to go, if I'm putting down my Micah Parsons fan hat, you know what I'm saying? If I'm putting that to the side, for me, you either have to go cornerback. I mean, not cornerback. You have to just go either defense or wide receiver. Those are the only two real options you have. And if you go defense, you have to take the best player. And I don't know, if cornerback would necessarily be that. I don't get it with Carson's coaches half the time. Like even Frank Wright, we played Seattle. Frank kept making him throw the ball continuously. Yeah, it's been an issue. I mean, that's been an issue with the Eagles, though. So, I forget who it was that was saying this. Who was it? I want to say it was Bo Wolf came on here and said it. I could be wrong, but either way, I remember talking and they were saying, if you look at, and you even look at, Jeffrey's conference this year, press conference this year after he fired Doug, if you look at what they've always wanted, it's always been focused on offense. So, to a certain degree, kind of feels like Jeffrey is forcing that upon whoever the coach is. Like, I want to see this guy throwing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want an explosive offense. So I'm not saying it's all on him, but that's a trend with a lot of our quarterbacks. With a lot of our coaches, because you can even go back to Andy Reid, to be honest. Likes to play too high safeties. Facts. Trey Lance, bro. Trey Lance is nice, man. I ain't gonna cap. Trey Lance is nice, bro. I have fun watching his highlights. Trading Hurts would be a stupid idea. I mean, hey, this is the only way I would do it. This is what I would do. If this is, this is me saying we had to trade both, right? If you can get a first out of Carson, like everybody's saying, you could probably get a second out of Jalen Hurts, maybe a late first, maybe, and there's a lot of QB needy teams right now. And Jalen Hurts is a different type of quarterback trade, because you can trade Jalen Hurts to a lot more teams than you can trade Carson Wentz, because Carson Wentz is going to go somewhere and be off the rip a starter. Jalen Hurts might fetch you a second round pick and still go to the Packers or the Rams or some team that has an older quarterback that they're going to go with for one more year, or the Steelers that they're going to go for one more year, and they want a cheap quarterback behind them that they feel like can be a starter. Because, I mean, look, Hurts can be a starter. At the end of the day, if you develop him right, he showed that he can play in this league. So if you can get a first and a second out of them, that means you have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. So you have a first in the sixth. You have a 6th pick, right? And at that point, you can get a top quarterback. If you can get somebody like Trey Lance, or if Zach Wilson falls, or if Justin Fields falls, it might be a crazy turnaround, and it might sound crazy, but it's something that could possibly happen. Because then if you still have a mid-round pick, you could still go and get a top wide receiver. You can end up getting somebody like Jalen Waddle. So you never know. You never know. I'm not saying it'll happen, because it's a lot of, if this, if that, but could you walk us through mock Ertz or Wentz trades and thoughts on the running back from Ohio State, Trey Sermon, as our second round running back? I do like Trey Sermon. I feel like he's not I don't want to say a bruiser, but he's definitely an in between the tackles guy. He's a little bit different from Miles Sanders. I like him. I definitely like him. I don't know if we go running back in the second round or that early, I should say. Um, I if we did it, I wouldn't be necessarily mad depending on who we got in the first or how everything happened in the first. If we trade back in the first and we end up getting more seconds, then maybe he's a second rounder type guy. But to pick him number 6, I don't know. I don't know. And in general, I don't know about running backs at that point. To walk you through a mock Ertz and Wentz trade, look, I don't know. I've said for a long time that I don't feel that Wentz has the value that a lot of people are saying, and a lot of these reports are telling me that I'm wrong. So I'm probably wrong. It is what it is. But, if we can get a first out of him, it's probably going to be something like it's probably going to, I don't think that they're going to package Wentz and Ertz. I just don't see that happening going to one team. I feel like it would be two separate things. I think Ertz could fetch us something like a third. I think Wentz can, if he can get us a first, cool. Maybe a first and a third, we give him Wentz and a fifth. That would be probably the most realistic in my opinion. Maybe first and a fourth, depending on the team and depending on how high the first round pick is. If I had to put my money on any team outside the Colts, I would probably say someone like the Patriots. I really like the Patriots pick because if we can get the 15th pick and like their third or fourth round pick, I'm cool with that. I think that because then you pick at 6 and 15, you're getting two. You might end up getting somebody like Patrick Surtain at 15, or maybe even I've seen mocks where Jamar Chase falls. I doubt it, but I've seen stuff like that. So you never know. It could be crazy. There's two bigger backs on the roster in Holyfield and Howard. I like Holyfield a lot. I really want to see Holyfield get some play time, I should say. But, it didn't look like they were really trying to give him that. The boy is a beast, though. Yeah, and Howard, I don't know what the heck is going on with Howard, to be honest. I feel like that boy got the stinger from hell because that man got a stinger and never came back. I'm almost as – I wouldn't say Micah Parsons is Derek Barnett 2.0. I wouldn't say – I mean, I have been, I was trying to find like a highlight tape that it really showed his – coverage skills, but it looks like I'm gonna have to actually go through and try and get some Penn State film from 2017 and get his coverage skills because he can cover, and I'm tired of everybody making that up. But if he gets Micah Parsons, me, I'll be happy. Kyle Pitts is the new age tight end. Kyle Pitts is very good. I do feel like that the tight end class this year is pretty deep. I feel like Kyle Pitts is getting all of this hype just because he can be a wide receiver pretty easily. Like, I mean, you can move him over to wide receiver pretty easily. And I feel like if that's the thought process that when we pick him or if we pick him, then I'm open to it. I'm open to seeing how he works out. But, at that point, I feel like we just get Jamar Chase. But he could turn out to be a beast, to be honest. Miles Sanders is playmaking running back that makes some intriguing drops, even though, he definitely got some bricks for hands at times. My guy, Solo Bolo, welcome back. What's good, brother? What's good, my guy? What would you consider a winning season for the new coaching staff? A Super Bowl? No. Realistically, it depends on how the draft goes. But if the draft goes how I feel it's going to go, that it's going to be a decent draft, we're not going to mess up anything. I would say I can't put a record on it. I would mainly say you see development. And I'm going to go with the mindset that Carson Wentz isn't our quarterback. I wouldn't mind going to the playoffs. That would be cool. You know what I'm saying? But I think it would be more so you just want to see a development and a core. Like you want to see some type of core formed, whether it be like Travis Fulgham comes out and really shows he's going to be that guy, or Dallas Goedert really just comes out and shows he's going to be that guy. Miles Sanders, defensively, some guys come out and really show that they have potential and we have stuff to build on. Look, for me right now, that's a win because I feel like we're so old as a team, especially defensively. And we didn't see anything last year as far as potential because as soon as they showed a little bit of potential, I feel like our coaching staff stopped that. We go back to Jordan Mailata, we go back to Travis Fulgham getting benched for their older counterparts. So I feel like right now a win for this team and for this franchise in general is just seeing that next level, that next step into the future, seeing that you have some young players that you can build around. But I like that question. Listen, what is hard to understand? You have a talent and that arm like Carson Wentz. You use it, aka Mahomes. The difference is Mahomes is good, Wentz not so much. At first, I was thinking you was like saying that Wentz is Mahomes, and I'm like, ah. And then yeah, now you came around the corner real quick on that one. Banged the corner on that one real quick. We need to tighten up the offensive line. I like the offensive line, to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't say like don't get any offensive linemen, but I think that's something we can wait till third, fourth round. That I think that's day 3 type picks, to be honest. I think we can get away with waiting till then. I think there's more pressing issues right now. I get the draft capital, but regardless of how we feel about Hurts, we drafted a first round talent in the second round. I mean, yeah, we did. We did. I mean, it's all about what they want to do. At the end of the day, it's really up to them. Because at this point, if you draft Justin Fields at number 6, are you really gonna be that mad that you gave up Jalen Hurts? Like, are you really gonna be that mad? Like, or if you even a Trey Lance. I know Trey Lance is probably the most questionable quarterback in some people's eyes, but I mean, 28 touchdowns, no interceptions. You don't, they don't just hand that shit out. You know what I'm saying? So, look, if we go out there and get a top 10 quarterback, a top 5 potential quarterback, it's hard to be upset if they do that. It really is hard to be upset if we do that. I think my prediction still stands that Wentz is going to Denver for at least 2 first picks. 2 first. Luck apparently is coming out of retirement, so Colts are out. I don't think Luck's coming out of retirement. I forget who it was that they asked. And they were like, do you think, I forget who it was that they asked. Damn, I talked to so many people and like we talk all about football. So it's like I jumble people together. But damn, who was it? But either way, they were talking and it was a Colts player. Who was it? Either way, he was just like, yeah, no, I highly doubt it. I forget who it was though. I'm sure I'll remember it in a minute. But if we can get something for him, why not at this point? Will we miss? Yeah, you might as well. I mean, you might as well start fresh. I like Jalen Hurts, but if they don't believe in him, or if they don't think that he's really worth keeping, or that you can get a better guy, why not? Quarterback is the most important position, right? I mean, it would just be sad that we're laying off all the factory workers. That's the only thing, especially during this pandemic. You can't be, firing the whole factory, man. Wentz needs to understand he gonna have it. Earn the job if he goes to. That's the thing. I don't get what he thinks. Like, I mean, I guess if you go somewhere like because even if he goes somewhere like the 49ers have won with their backups. You know what I'm saying? They've proven that they can win with their backups. Not on the highest level, but they've won games with their backups. They've had Nick Mullins out there looking like a star sometimes. So I don't know what he thinks he's going to do. Like, maybe he wants to go play for the XFL and just automatically get handed the MVP every year. But what if the star player, Justin Tucker, how did he do this year before I say this? But I would not mind a new kicker. But, off the top of my head, I feel like Justin Tucker's a very good kicker, right? Like, got a great leg and everything. Fantasy-wise, I know he's good. I'm sorry I don't know stats on kickers, but if our star player is a kicker and we kick out no pun intended, but we kick out Jake Elliott, I'm cool with that. I am cool with that. I will have a party. If we don't get it first, I doubt Wentz gets traded. I think it really depends. Because if Wentz wants to leave so bad, he's got to work with us with this money. Because why are we going to trade him, even if it's for a first? I don't think a first round pick is worth losing like $60 million if we trade him, bro. Like, that's my thing. Steelers. I could see the Steelers with Hurts though, more so than Wentz, just because I don't think Wentz is going to go somewhere where he is going to have to battle, and he'd have to either battle or Ben Roethlisberger is going to have to retire. But he is basically like another Ben Roethlisberger. If we're not getting an X receiver, we don't need a draft wide receiver because we already have a bunch of slot and Z wide receivers. That's what Smith and Waddle are. I feel you. I mean, but a lot of people were saying this about Justin Jefferson too, man. A lot of people, and I'm not saying you were, I'm just saying a lot of people were saying that Justin Jefferson was just a slot guy, and now we're all mad that we didn't draft him. What would be crazy trade is if Wentz and Ertz to Miami for pick 3, 18 first next year, and they're 2 edge. Let's see. Damn, bro. I won't have him gonna leave. That's a lot. I would take all of that though. Hey, that's the only way I would package Wentz and Ertz. That's the only way. If you give me all that, you can have them. My roommate is a Dolphins fan. I'm pretty sure he would hate that. I'm not gonna lie. He would probably hate that. Pittsfield's 2 needs, tight end and wide receiver. I mean, is tight end really a need though? Wide receiver, I don't really think is a need, but he definitely fills 2 positions. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, is he going to be elite at either one? Because I feel like at a top 10 position or a top 6 position, especially, you have to pick an elite player. You can't just pick somebody that's going to be good or, that could be good. You can't reach that high. I always lose my spot in these comments. I'm like the worst at this. I don't know why y'all keep coming, man. I don't know why y'all keep coming. I'm the worst at reading these comments. Why are fans giving up on Dillard so fast? Do you think he is already too injury prone? I don't think so. I think, look, last year was supposed to be the year that he really proved, that he could be that left tackle of the future. Unfortunately, he got hurt. It is what it is. It happens. We'll see. I mean, this year, I think he's going to have a chance to at least fight for his position, right? I think best case scenario is he takes that left tackle position, and not because I think Jordan Mailata is not good, more so because I feel like Jordan Mailata is a guy that can play either, position, or even, he can probably even move inside. He's just very versatile. You know what I'm saying? Kind of reminds me of a Big V. So, like, when you have somebody like that, that's I don't want to say more important, but that's just as important as having a starter. That swing tackle is imperative to success. So if something happens to Lane Johnson, I feel more comfortable with Mailata going to the right side than I obviously do Andre Dillard. So I'm hoping that Andre Dillard takes that left spot so we can have Mailata as a swing guy. Hurts isn't a first player. He's more like a 4th pick. I don't know. Yeah, you're talking like a 4th round pick. I don't know. I think he would fetch you probably like a 2nd round pick. That's what I would think. I think you would get what you gave for him. I kind of feel like that, to be honest. Trey Lance does remind me a lot of Carson Wentz. I did a video like a long time ago about like Carson versus Trey Lance, and they're very similar. Trey's more of a runner. Trey's definitely way more of a runner, and that boy is fast. It's crazy how fast he actually is. His arm strength isn't there like Carson's was. His mechanics are better. I feel like his decision making is a little bit better. But I do think Trey Lance is basically, kind of Carson 2.0, maybe 1.5, but definitely a little bit better. Trey Lance makes Wentz look slow. Yeah, he really does. And they're about the same, because Carson Wentz is like 6'6", Trey Lance is 6'3", but I think they're about the same weight. Like, I think they're about 20 pounds off from each other, which is not that much. We need a new kicker. The one we got now makes me so mad. I hate he can't. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Jake Elliott needs to never come back to Philly again. It would be hard to be upset, but at the same time, we don't know what Hurts is after 4 games. Whereas whoever we draft quarterback-wise as a first-rounder would get a full season. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to just, move on and just restart. Sometimes, maybe that whole COVID, it came at such a bad time because we were literally, last year was kind of going to be this way either way. Like, last year we all saw it coming, like the cap situation, lack thereof cap, I should say, the lack of a real off season, the lack of a training camp. This was kind of the last year of our window with this older roster. So this was going to happen either way. So maybe it's just better to just blow it all up and restart. Who knows? No, we would take a second and a conditional second if Wentz makes the playoffs his first year. I don't really care if they make the playoffs. I say send them to a trash team. I want my pick. I don't want no conditions. I don't care about what he does with y'all. Y'all believe in him here. That's how I feel. That's how I feel right now. Y'all believe in him? Bet. Take him. With the Miami deal, first round picks would be Pitts, Chase, Farley. I would love to get mad first round picks, bro. Jefferson is nice, but would he be the same without Thielen on the field? That's a very good point. That's a very good point. And to your point, I said that, but to your point, man, would any of these guys been that good in this offense? This offense was trash. You know what I'm saying? Would any of these wide receivers have really flourished in this offense last year? I feel we trade Ertz to Green Bay. That would be interesting. That would be an all in move. I could see that. Trey 6'5". Is he 6'5"? All right. I'm dyslexic, so maybe I just saw the 5 as 3. I'm not actually dyslexic, so no disrespect to anybody. That might actually be. With the Miami deal, first, I already read that. Jordan Mailata isn't going to be an all-pro next year. That is a fact. I would take that. McNabb? You think McNabb? I don't know. McNabb was bulkier. He was more of like, I mean, Trey Lance did bowl some people over. I ain't gonna cap. I mean, I don't know. I guess I could definitely see the comparison as far as play style. That's a good comparison. I'll give you that. I do like Trey Lance, though. I'm not saying that we're going to take a quarterback, or we should, but Trey is 6'5", and we are in the era of mobile quarterbacks. Trey Lance is more of a Josh Allen, in my opinion. Josh Allen's a big boy, and Josh Allen got the arm of Zeus. I don't know how he began. That man got a freaking arm and a half. So I don't know. True. He was balling back then too. He was balling. Trade Wentz to the Jags for a first. I don't think the Jaguars trust us with quarterbacks anymore, as they shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Green Bay trade makes no sense for us or Aaron. We're not a QB away. Who said we're trying to trade for Aaron? Nobody's trying to trade for. I think he said Ertz would go to Green Bay for like a pick or something. That's what I would do. I mean, that would make sense for them. They get another weapon, you know what I'm saying? Get somebody at that tight end position. I'm not sure who they have right now, but I'm sure they would not mind having another tight end, man, especially someone like Ertz. I'm sure they would not mind it. On the topic of McNabb, the NFC loss to Arizona was the worst playoff loss in his career. That was one of the NFC loss games that was actually close. Bro, like, I mean, we should have won a couple Super Bowls those years, man. Like, I feel like, and y'all tell me if I'm right, especially now that, we're in the era of freaking Andy Reid taking over the NFL. But I feel like, realistically, if Andy Reid would have just, swallowed his pride and dealt with T.O. and McNabb, too, if they would have just swallowed their pride and shut the heck up and just dealt with T.O. for like a couple more years, bro, we would have been disgusting. Like, we would have been nasty. We would have definitely won a Super Bowl the next year, especially with that defense. But it just keeps bringing you back to like this franchise never does anything for its quarterbacks. Never. Like, they'll give you an offensive line, and that's it. That's about it. Like, they'll give you a running back. Shout out to Brian Westbrook. Like, they'll give you a running back. We've had great running backs, but man, these guys have had no weapons, bro, ever. Like, and it's just so frustrating. Like, not ever. We go back. But realistically, as an Eagles fan, I know I'm getting a little ranty, but as an Eagles fan, when somebody asks you, like, oh, who is your best wide receiver, we have to say Harold Carmichael. Harold Carmichael is still probably our best wide receiver of all time. And we're in a league now that is pass happy. That shouldn't be that way. It doesn't make sense, man. It does not make sense. Why do we never invest? And, I know I'm sitting here saying not to go get a wide receiver at 1 or at the first pick. I'd rather have defense, but it shouldn't take a first round pick. It shouldn't take a first round pick. Macklin was great. I liked Macklin a lot. Allison says, or T.O. T.O. was good. T.O. was great. But we only had him for like 8 games. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad too. We only had him for like 8 games, and he's one of our greatest wide receivers of all time. I mean, it's just, this organization doesn't care about its quarterbacks. It doesn't. Is that off? Is that wrong? Am I wrong to say that? Dude, like this organization does not care about its offense much. Like unless you are a running back. And I'm trying to think, because even running backs, I feel like the lifespan of a running back in Philadelphia has been like 4 or 5 years, 5, 6 years, maybe. Obviously, LaShawn McCoy, that trade was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I was going to say something really disrespectful. I didn't say it, though. It was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the first time we let go of good running backs. I don't know. We went on like a stretch of like a good 10 years that we didn't have a good, not even great, a good safety until we got Malcolm Jenkins. Think about that. Like, how long are we going to keep striking out? And I know this has nothing to do with him. This is more so just about the coaching staff, but bro, the more that I think about it, the more that I feel like nothing's going to change with Howie here. And I don't want to be just, I don't want to be, that guy that's all doom and gloom, bro. But like realistically, bro, like we have missed everywhere. We have missed everywhere. Every decision that we have made has seemed to like bite us in the butt. Is it just me, or is what happening to Wentz very similar to what happened to Randall Cunningham? Of course, he was a bad kick away from the Super Bowl, man. That Denver first, man. It's sad. It really is sad because I mean, looking for and as fans, bro, look, all my subscribers, you guys are pretty like chill. You guys are very respectful. We all argue, we all disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. But especially with how we've been treating the media, news, and everything. Like one day we're saying F this guy, F that guy. The next day we're arguing with ourselves. Like, man, it's been a rough year for Philly, bro. It's been a rough year for Philly. So let's, to bring it back to what this video is about. Who's gonna really benefit from this new coaching staff? Probably us too. Maybe us too. Maybe they can keep us in check. Maybe they can calm us down. Because realistically, I feel like we need coaches that are getting, and I'm talking about Philly fans, and I'm talking about me included, man. We need people that are going to get into that press conference room, be honest, be upfront, give us what the news is, and get out. We don't need nobody, beating around the bush. We don't need nobody, telling us, oh, we need to get better. We need straight up answers. We need coaches that are going to yell on the practice field to know your shit. That's what we need. And we got Nick Sirianni who will yell that at his players. Maybe Wentz doesn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Wentz doesn't want that around him. I don't understand it. If Wentz is our quarterback next year, I'm gonna support Wentz no matter what. It is what it is. Like if Wentz is our quarterback, I got 2 of his jerseys. I got the black John and I got the green John. I got both of them. I'll rock both of them. If he's traded, if he's cut, whatever may happen, I'm gonna probably try and trade one in for Jalen Hurts. But I'm gonna keep one of them because I got respect for Carson, but I don't have respect for how he's handling this situation. You know what I'm saying? So we need people that are gonna hold these people accountable, bro. Oh, my bad. And on the topic, Wentz equals Cunningham 2.0, the way he plays and escapes sacks out of nowhere, and he pulls things. I wouldn't say 2.0, but they are similar in that retrospect. In that retrospect, I should say. But I've seen Randall Cunningham do some crazy stuff, some crazy stuff. That's why we went with all young coaches, and they got to prove themselves, so they got to be on your ass. Exactly. That's what I love so much about this. That's what I love so much about these coaching staff. I agree, Joe. We need toughness on the coaching staff. Facts. We need toughness, accountability, bro. I'm tired of being soft. I'm tired of being like the joke, bro. Like, yo, this offseason coming into this, I was hyped because I'm like, all right, we're the only ones with the same coaching staff. These people like each other. We know what's going on. We're good. Like, we're the only franchise that's kind of in the open right now. Everybody knows what's going on. Boy, could I have not been more wrong. Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And it's all on Howie. It really is all on Howie. All this has to do with Howie. And I know that, like, people make jokes and be like, everything's just, bashing Howie, but it's the damn truth. Like, that man is the common denominator of everything. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I hope that this is the new era for the Philadelphia Eagles. Hope that there's like accountability. I hope that people are, being honest to themselves, to their teammates. I'm all about teammates and love and family and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you're here to play a football game and win. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta work hard, man. You gotta work hard. Would you rather have Howie as a GM or Chip? Oh God, can I pick Orr? Can I see Orr's resume? I would like to see Orr's resume. No, I mean, listen, I'll take Howie at that point. I mean, but Howie just needs to just be. He just needs to get away from the what's it called? He just needs to get away from the draft room. That's all I need from him. Just get away from the draft room. You could deal with contracts. You've done well with that. You've done well with trades. You haven't really traded away anybody stupid. You haven't really done anything crazy yet, as far as that goes. But you just can't draft. You can't draft, man. Like, so I'm good on that. I'm good on that aspect of your game. You are not good at that. I wouldn't ask Carson Wentz to, be a wide receiver because he's not good at that. So I'm not going to ask Howie Roseman to be a draft guru because he's not good at that. So, we need to just get that man out of the room. And, maybe it's on Lurie. Maybe Lurie needs to get out the room, too. Lurie old ass is starting to piss me off, too. This whole team's starting to get me mad. I ain't going to cap. But it is what it is, man. But either way, tonight, I feel good now. I'm not going to cap. I ain't going to lie, man. Tonight, we are going to have a call-in show. If you guys win. Chip's players did win the Super Bowl. Chip can't draft. I will say that. But you said GM. I don't feel like the GM should be the one drafting anyway. So if we're talking about just, I don't even think I would want him as a draft. If we could take Chip back as like a whatever he was doing in that physical room in the training room, hey, let's do that. Whatever he's doing there, let's do that. I'm cool with that. But yeah, so tonight we're doing a call-in show at 6:00. Probably go from like 6 to 7:30 maybe. Wanted to do it before the Sixers game so you guys can all get tuckered in and watch your Sixers play. But yeah, so come through for that. I just want to get everybody's opinion. I want to get everybody's reaction. Hear what you guys think about this whole Carson Wentz situation. I haven't done a call-in a while, so I definitely feel bad. I know you guys been wanting it, so let's do it. So yeah, definitely be ready for that. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. And don't forget tomorrow, I got all the Eagles creators I could get to come together. Avengers Assemble. And we all made a decision on who we wanted to pick. And that will come out tomorrow. So please do come through for that. That will be live also around 6:30. But other than that, man, yeah, I'm about to get out of here, man. Just a quick one today. I got a lot of work to do, so. But I love you guys. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, though, it's fly goes fly. We are out here. Peace.